Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a Nasus game, and this Nasus game is apparently played against, the team against him has TSM Aphromoo in it. I don't really know him, but apparently a lot of you guys do. And it is this Cockmaw. He is apparently playing on another account. Don't actually know how that works. Of course, most of the high-level players will have multiple accounts, so we will have to see if he's any good in this game. Obviously he's going to go bottom lane, and we will have to see if that if we get to see any play of him. So no spectator mode on, unfortunately, but yeah, well, we're going to have to see what this game brings from this perspective, I guess. Oh, apparently someone knows that that it's a famous player because he's streaming. Anyway, it's kind of funny how everyone knows these things, because I have no clue who all these guys are and what what names they use on their
Let the dogs out.
on their Smurfs. That's the word I was going for. So we are going for the wolves into blue, and the enemy jungler, let's see who that is Darius. And yeah, I wonder, I don't even know what he starts. He may actually just start red, but yeah, could also just be blue. So he may actually be at their red, but it seems that is not the case. Well, she can actually see that, but still, we will have to see. We will have to see that later, once we get there. So the early part of this game is going to be farming, because, well, Nasus has to farm quite a lot. So still no skill picked, as you might have noticed. That is because you shouldn't do that straight away at level 1. You need to know whether you are going to use that skill or need to use that skill. Because if there was a jungle invade, it might be better to go for the Wither, because that way you can get a slow on someone and an immediate gank here from Nocturne, doing a little bit of damage, but nothing more than that. He does allow the Nasus to farm a little bit, because, well, with this early gank, the Yorick is going to be on his toes. He's going to watch out for ganks incoming, and since he doesn't have a ward, obviously, he's going to have to be careful. So they do have a Janna on their team. That's pretty nice. Movement speed increase. That is always very nice to have, whatever you play. By the way, starting off boots and potions, and that is of course because he is very much a melee champion, where this guy at least has some kind of range in his spells. Nasus really doesn't have any range in his spells. His Q is completely, well, next to him. You have to. It's a very close skill, and the Spirit Fire has a little bit of range on it, but since it's not targeted, people can just walk out of it. So it's not really useful in that way. So going to farm up on the Yorick minions a little bit. So the minions that he actually has in the later game will not represent the correct number of minions. But that's all good. It's still an estimate, of course, the amount of minions people get, well, of the amount of gold they get. Because if you miss a lot of melee minions, they are worth a lot more than the ranged minions. Yeah, he messed up a little bit, he missed his Q, and he let this minion live, which obviously could have been hit with the Q. But he is going to farm up quite nicely. Let's see. It's plus 21 currently, so 7 minions on that Q. And currently at 15 minions. But yeah, as I said, he's last hitting a lot of the Yorick minions with that Q, and therefore doesn't get gold for that. But yeah, you can see the gold over here. It's pretty standard. It's not like you're going to get surprised by the amount of gold he's getting. But yeah, Yorick minions give no experience even when last hit, or no gold, I meant to say, but they don't give experience either. And that is because he spams so many of them, and he doesn't really have a choice. So yeah, the Jack-in-the-Boxes from Shaco and the turret from Heimerdinger, they give you these little bits of gold, which stack up in the, well, during the game. I mean, you get quite a bit of gold if that was true for this guy, for this Yorick, but yeah, that's why it's not true. The Teemo mushrooms also no longer give you gold. They used to give you 25 gold, and that was amazing back then, because then you bought an oracles against Teemo and you would immediately be able to pay for that by just picking up mushrooms. Because if Teemo has like 6 mushrooms in the lane, you already get yeah, 150 gold right off the bat, and you haven't even started doing anything at that point. So yeah, and most Teemos protect their lane with the mushrooms, so yeah, you would be able to pick off quite a few. Anyhow, just farming on. As I said, the early game is all about farming. That's why I like to go into the other lanes. That's why I like the spectator mode. But without the spectator mode, we're going to just have to do with this. And we're going to have to, well, watch this lane, because, well, as you can see in the other lanes, no health bars, nothing can be seen. And it's just not very interesting to see. I mean, without health bars, the decisions they make, kind of random. So Yorick went back home, he pushed the lane and then went back. And is going to, well, just push the lane again, because that's what he does. And Nasus still hasn't gone back. He is out of health potions here. He does have 1270 gold. So he can actually, or he should actually go back and well, get some items going, because Yorick definitely got some items. He has the Tear of the Goddess now. The Tear of the Goddess with the Boots of Speed are going to, well, result in a whole lot of mana for him in the later game. Obviously he's going to go into Mana Immune. And yeah, Mana Immune is a very efficient item for him, because all he does is use his basic attacks and spam his ghouls, and he's going to get more and more gold out of that, and he can, or not gold, mana, and he's going to turn that mana into additional damage, and yeah, that's just a very good thing to have. And yeah, because he spams all of these ghouls, he also needs the mana to spam his ghouls. Missing a few there, but yeah, you can't get all of them, because, well, the turret is quite powerful, and you definitely are going to have some trouble last hitting versus the turret. Come on, get that last one. No, didn't get it. So yeah, it's all about the details here. He currently is at 69. And yeah, 72. He stacks up quite nicely, going for I think the cooldown reduction on the Kindle gem. But of course I'm not actually sure. It might just be a Heart of Gold, because he's trying to, well, just gain some extra gold from that. He knows Nasus is for the late game, obviously. Early game, it's not a whole lot of damage, and late game there is a lot of damage on Nasus. And yeah, by just last hitting very well with your Q, you get a lot of extra damage. And if you combine that with, for example, the Trinity Force, or rather the Sheen, yeah, you can do a lot of damage with just that Q attack. And yeah, for those of you who want to have a troll build, you can go Tiamats on him, because the Tiamats will actually get triggered by the Q. And you can see how that is very efficient. Because if you get 4 Tiamats, and I think that's magic damage, so then you would need magic penetration boots or something like that. But if you get 4 Tiamats, then you do 200% of that Q damage onto everyone around your target. If you get 2, of course you do 100% to everyone, but yeah, that's not really interesting. It's of course way more interesting to just nuke down a whole team. And in the team fight, if they're clumped up and you hit 1 Q, everyone just goes to half health. It's very funny. It's the way that works is really funny. Really shouldn't work like that, of course, but it still does. So it's an investment, because Tiamats are too expensive for what they do. But on Nasus it may be worth it. Although I still would say it's very much a troll build, because yeah, it's way better to just go tanky stuff on him. With tanky stuff, you just get a lot more done. Oh, sorry, I was trying to check his 126. Wow, impressive. So yeah, you get 3 extra damage out of every last hit, and that doesn't scale up with level. So whether you have a siphoning strike at level 1 or level 5, that doesn't matter. What does matter is the cooldown. And the cooldown is the main thing here. And currently at level 5 it has a 3.89 second cooldown. And that's because he has a little bit of that cooldown reduction going. Cooldown reduction 2.7%, which is an awesome amount. I don't know where you get 2.7% cooldown reduction from, but I don't know. It's it's not a whole lot. Let's just call it that. Nasus is getting chased a little bit by Yorick, but Yorick hasn't really been aggressive all game, so no reason to suspect that he's going to really tower dive this time. He could of course have been way more aggressive, but yeah, the Darius coming in, and Nasus is going to try to get out, but yeah, to no avail. That was never going to work. He used his ghost there, but I think he knew that he was done, and he should just try to stay around the turret. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Not a whole lot he could do about that. I mean, you can't ward against that kind of an invade. I'm assuming he came from over here somewhere, or maybe even from over here. It doesn't matter. It's just that you would need 2 wards to prevent that, because if you see him running here, if you ward over here, and you see him running here and then over here, you're not going to assume that he goes into your jungle and comes from behind. You assume that he's going mid lane. On the other hand, if he goes here, if you ward over here, then this path is free to go for him. And yeah, there's really no way to ward against that then. So you would need 2 wards. The normal ward would be over here, of course, but as I said, nothing could be seen from that with the current gank path. Of course, the only real gank path available was this one, because Nasus had been pushed up to his turret all game, and here you see he can see the Darius, but yeah, that's about it. He can't really see what his plans are. And oh, there goes Nocturne, come on! Yes, he gets out, but are they going to tower dive him? It seems so. Oh, Cannon comes in. Cannon actually doing a lot of damage there. And it seems that Darius is going to make it out, no problem. Nocturne still in this fight, and he is getting way too low to stay in. He's going to get killed. Oh my god, way too greedy. They had that kill already. He comes in anyway and messes up the kill by giving away a kill. That was really not good. And it's not the first time we see this. This happens on all ELO levels by everyone. It's just a silly thing to happen. So Nocturne going bottom lane apparently. And here we see our pro player. As I said, I've never heard of him, but yeah, well, I've never heard of a lot of people. I only know the real mainstream pro players. So yeah, well, that's also why I'm going to need your help on my new project. I'm going to start a new series on my channel. For those of you who watched my previous video, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to repeat it. I'm going to make a video of every champion played, so every champion in the game played by a pro gamer. And I'm going to try to get, well, recent matches of course, but since I don't know all of the pro gamers, I'm going to need some help on that also, because it's just way too much work to find all these videos. Or replays. I would prefer replays, but they're probably not available. So we're going to have to do with videos, which is fine too. Most of the streams are reasonable quality. But yeah, I will bring a video out on that, and they do get a dragon here out of that kill on the bot lane. Yeah, as I said, I'm going to need some help on that, and I hope you guys will assist me in that by just finding out your favorite pro gamer with whatever he plays or she plays. I mean, there are probably female pro gamers as well. And yeah, allowing me to finish this series as soon as possible, because getting 100 champions out there, or well, close to 100, is going to be hard anyway. So yeah, lots of farm for this Nasus now, and he is going to do pretty well. The cannon coming in for another gank, but he is not going to get anything done. Going to just walk out of that again. And let's see how the farm is stacking up. He has about 100 farm, and his enemy also has 100 farm. So not really losing there, and that is surprising, because this Yorick has been pushing the lane all game. I would expect him to get more out of that, and yeah, he just didn't get it to work. So Nasus was allowed to farm up this this Q up to 201 additional damage. That is a huge amount, of course, for this relatively early game. Nasus is really a champion that you build for like the 40-45 minute mark, and obviously he can do something before then, but not in the early game. In the early game he is just, yeah, not that damage heavy, and he doesn't really do a whole lot. But yeah, in the late game, definitely a very good champion. Can turn around whole matches and can kill an entire team in the late game. But yeah, you need some items for that. So we're going for the Glacial Shroud for the cooldown reduction. Probably not going to upgrade that straight away into Frozen Heart. But I'm missing the Sheen here. Normally we go, or Nasus goes Sheen really early on because it helps with the last hitting. It also just gives you way more damage in a fight. But I guess with all of these guys yeah, coming in all the time and helping him out, he doesn't really have a problem. Going straight for the Kog'Maw because he's the one doing the most damage, and getting the kill there. Nicely done. Yeah, just continuing on. So the turret went down in the top lane. There's not a whole lot of farming to be done there. So coming mid lane was kind of the standard thing to do. And now Cassiopeia can get killed. Well, next. She is the next big damage dealer. But I think Kog'Maw is still the big damage dealer on the enemy team. Don't know who's doing the best. I guess Kog'Maw. Between the two, Kog'Maw is doing better. He has more minions. He has the most minions in the game, in fact, and that kind of shows you, yeah, how important that is. So he has 150 minions versus 140 there, and yeah, that last hitting on AD carries is so important. You need that gold, you need that farm, and yeah. The gold is just very important because your items are very important. And Nasus is going to run straight in here, going to try to get all of these minions, even though he can't save his turret. But he's focusing on the minions, and going to have to use his ultimate if this keeps going. But I don't know how long Yorick can keep this up, how long he can keep doing that that spam. Of course, he has plenty of mana available to him, but still, it is all of the cooldowns will get triggered at some point. Oh, come on, get him! Get him! Yes, Cannon picks it up. Nasus is going to die, but Cannon is going to pick up a triple here. Nicely done! That is exactly how we want to see that. Nasus doesn't survive, but takes a lot of the damage, and Cannon, the carry, comes in and just completely wipes out the entire enemy attack. And a 3 versus 1 trade, I think at least. Yeah, that was a 3 versus 1 trade. Nobody else died on our blue team. And that is of course an excellent way to go. So yeah, Nasus really doesn't need that many items. He just needs to farm and that's it. So it indeed, by the way, became a Heart of Gold, and now one of his gold items was turned into Shurelia's Reverie to make sure that he can get into a fight and out of a fight, or out of a fight when he needs to. And yeah, the Kog'Maw stealing, no, that's not Kog'Maw, Cannon, sorry. Cannon stealing the red buff, and that is of course a great advantage to them, because the enemy jungler won't have it then. And Darius without the red buff is just not as scary as Darius with the red buff. He's still powerful, but yeah, he's Darius, so we know that. It's just that he's not super powerful anymore. So Yorick coming in here, doing some aggressive action and going to try to get these minions once again. But Nasus is not going to allow him to farm freely, so he's going to aggressively pose in, well, in this direction, trying to push him away, make sure that he zones him, and that Nasus, or well, that Yorick gets damaged every time he comes in for a minion kill. So we're going out of this lane. You can see that by the fact that he used the Spirit Fire, because he is going to help out on the dragon there. So dragon goes down well before Nasus gets there, but the enemy team is there as well, and he is going to be able to help out there. Yorick is already there, and Yorick is going to help out as well. Lots of damage going off on Yorick straight away, and he's going to go down. Come on! Oh, his ultimate went off, and are they going to pick him up? Oh, Nasus in the middle of the enemy team, going to do a little bit of damage, but that didn't go as planned, because the entire enemy team is still at full health. And yeah, they did have some vision, not enough I guess, and they definitely didn't engage there. So I don't know why they didn't engage. They could have engaged on that. Yorick was already low. They could also have waited for the Yorick ultimate to stop, because by then he will be low health and he won't have that ultimate up, because that ultimate is just super annoying. And this way you were fighting 6 versus 5 or 5 versus 6, and yeah, 5 versus 6 is of course, yes, something that the enemy should always win. But yeah, that clone or shadow or whatever it's called, that is just super strong if you take the right, the right guy to clone. And I guess Kog'Maw would have been a nice choice there, but of course the Yorick in this case chose himself, because he was almost going to go down, and he did survive because of the Soraka. And although that that Soraka just saving him and saving that team fight. Or Nasus still went in. I don't know if that's a mistake. I think he expected the rest of his team to go in as well. because it seemed that way. But yeah, he got killed for it, and the rest of his team just ran out well before that happened. So I guess they either should have engaged or not engaged, and that makes it Nasus' fault. But by pretending to want to engage, I guess the rest of the team baited Nasus into doing that. And that is of course the team's fault then. So anyhow, we see Kog'Maw over here with his newfound blue buff. He stole the blue buff on this, or from this blue team. And he currently has the Infinity Edge plus Zeal. And that's exactly what you want once you start team fighting. Because you want to get that additional attack speed, additional movement speed to get more damage done. And yeah, you get the Infinity Edge first, because that just allows you to last hit a lot better. It also allows you to harass a lot better, because especially if your skills scale with AD, of course the attack speed is not going to do anything about that. In Kog'Maw's case, everything scales off of AP, so it's not really a problem. So he can go both, basically. But one hit of harass is way better when you have an Infinity Edge than when you have a Phantom Dancer. Unless you're relying on Critical Strike, but yeah, you cannot rely on Critical Strike really. So Kog'Maw getting the hell out of there for just a little bit and then re-engaging on the turret. Yeah, it's kind of a push match now, so the enemy team wants to push in, and that is going to be, well, something that we kind of expect from them, because they feel like they're ahead in gold and therefore in items, and because they're ahead in items they should push. They are of course 4 kills behind still in the actual kills. But that is made up by the fact that, for example, Kog'Maw has 241 minions. He's 30 minions ahead of this Ezreal. And 30 minions is about 2 kills, or about 600 gold. So you can see how that works to their advantage. And Kog'Maw does a lot of damage, so he can use that extra gold really well. So once again an engage. This time they do have clear vision over everything. And I think they noticed the ward there. They do have vision themselves, and oh, Cannon going so low. He's going to prevent the last ticks from that ignite with his hourglass. And that was an excellent play, because I think he would have died if one more tick hit him. Yeah, we're going to see them push even more. They get an extra turret, giving them even more gold. And they're going to get this turret as well, giving them even more gold. So every team member 300 extra gold there. Nasus is going to go in, but he is getting nuked down here. Wow, that was a lot of damage. And yes, there we go. Cannon getting 1 kill at least. Oh, 2. That's 2 for 2 now. Come on, get the Darius. Okay, nicely done. Making it, oh, 4. I missed one. I missed the Cassiopeia kill, I guess. So, a 4 for 2 trade. That is excellent. That's what they needed. Now they can push one of the turrets. No, don't go for Baron. Go for something that actually, well, gives you more map control. So yeah, I was reading the chat. It's kind of funny. I don't think it's true, but yeah, well. Anyhow, yeah, we see the enemy team running through their jungle. And, Soraka completely missing this ward. She was probably looking somewhere else. Missed this ward as well. Yeah, she was running all the way to Baron. She missed 2 wards on the way. Kog'Maw picked up one of them, but it's kind of sloppy. But I guess they thought that the enemy team was doing that Baron, and they wanted to just make sure that that was not going to happen. Yeah, it's kind of funny how they ran straight past that. But yeah, also because we can see that they're not doing Baron. And yeah, the enemy team obviously couldn't. So yeah, the damage going off on the enemy team, but yeah, everyone's still at full health. So I don't know where that damage went. I guess Darius took a little. But that's about yeah, 300 damage that he took. That's not going to, well, make him retreat or even make him scared of anything. It is, however, so that the enemy team is, well, trying to group, because they know that the potential for this damage is there. They just don't have it at this moment, or they haven't applied it at that moment. So Nasus is currently at 306 extra damage. Needs to keep farming that, of course. But yeah, Nasus cannot really run up there and get the last hits with that Q, because that would be silly. You don't want to get damaged too much at this point, because if you get killed or if you get damaged too much, the enemy gets a free Baron. And Cannon going to be in some trouble here. No, it's all good. It's all good. 4 enemies over here. Pretty sure that the 5th one is here as well, but we can't see him. And yeah, it's just a little bit of a fight for control over the Baron region. Both teams know that the enemies can take out Baron pretty quickly. So if you leave this this region, then you give away a Baron, and that is not what you want. And they are going to spread out, it seems, because they have to take care of these minion waves. And the enemy team, yeah, going for the push on this mid lane as well as for the Baron. It seems that they didn't check with the oracles yet. Yes, you did see it now. Come on, Nasus, show us what you're made of. Oh, a little bit early ultimate there from Ezreal. That really was too early. That Baron wasn't even, well, half done. Cannon coming in. Finally, they are going to engage here. And Nasus getting hit by the ultimates from Cassiopeia. And are they going to pick up more kills here? Cannon going really aggressive on that Darius. Wow, Cannon gets shut down, but they do get 4 kills, I think, out of this. Yep, 4 for 2. And yep, Baron, here we come. And they're going to just take out this Baron and grab some easy, well, easy buff, easy gold. But yeah, they do have to have a little bit more damage than they currently have. Because it seems that they are pretty low, and yeah, Janna really needs to get out of there, because one spell and she dies. They do grab it eventually, but it was a hard fight, and just because there was only one guy available, that made it possible to do that. Otherwise this would have been so risky. Yeah, going into the dragon now. Ezreal apparently trying to get that all by himself. Yeah, he does have some lifesteal, so I guess that's cool. He can do that, and this Nocturne is now going to help him out. Nocturne, of course, way better at getting the Baron, because he does have more lifesteal on his Wriggle's Lantern. He also is way more tanky. And wow, this Oracles for Soraka has paid off so well. I don't think she died. I think she was the one that actually lived through that. I'm not actually sure. Kind of forgot already. That's how fast that goes. Yeah, so they're going to attempt to group up and push this mid lane with the next minion wave. All 5 of them are here, and there's the minion wave. So the enemy team, yeah, with Cassiopeia and Darius, they should be able to pick off this minion wave pretty quickly. So they're going to have to move them as far away as possible. Cassiopeia is still landing her poison. It doesn't matter, however. The minions still got took most of the tower damage, and yeah, they're not going to be able to push in this second turret. I think that's just too much. Nasus getting tagged up quite heavily there. And who is this? That's going to die instantly. Seems Kog'Maw and Yorick go down virtually instantly. And Nasus, yeah, he had to go in to tank all that damage. And Azrael gets another double kill there. So 4 for 1, that's a good deal. Nasus really tanking that damage, and that's exactly what he needs to do. So I don't think he used that Radiant's Omen there. Well, he didn't use it there, but I'm not sure if it was up. That's what I meant to say. So if it was up, he should have used it, obviously. But if it wasn't up, then yeah, he couldn't have used it. So nice engage there, and yeah, that resulted in the whole enemy team getting killed. Don't know why they're going for this inhibitor, by the way. They could have taken these 2 turrets. It's the same amount of HP as 1 inhibitor, but I guess they didn't have a minion wave with them, and that's why they went for that. So Soraka once again did not die. Yeah, Soraka only died once. Don't know when that was. I think in the early game. Are they going to... Yeah, they're not going to get the enemy blue here. I don't know why not. It would seem like a good fight to happen, because they are now pretty far ahead, 11 kills ahead. And of course 11 kills gives you a whole lot of extra gold, as well as the fact that they got Baron, that gives you a lot of extra gold. And they got the last dragon, so all in all they should be pretty far ahead. So how's Kog'Maw doing? 300 versus 271. Azrael keeping up quite nicely, and he is also getting the buff there. Kog'Maw, does he have a buff? No, we're not going to see him for a little bit. No, he's going mid, I think. Yep, there he is. No, he doesn't have a buff. Nobody has a buff, so the blue buff on the enemy team... Oh, no. It was taken by someone. Just don't know who. Maybe they lost it in a previous team fight, because I think this is their blue buff. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so another engage here, and Nasus and Nocturne running in first, Cannon right after them, but Cannon is not going to be in any danger here. The only danger he's in is from some minions, but that is not a problem. In fact, that is just the way he likes it. And wow, getting a lot of damage on that Darius. Darius has to get out of there. A few tower shots on Nasus. He has his ultimate up, so he could take some damage. I mean, you gain 300 life off of that. Might as well use them, right? And we're going to take down this inhibitor. By now, extra magic resist plus Quicksilver Sash, the active, is really great, and that is going to cause or make them even better in the team fight. We're not sure what he is planning to remove with that, but yeah, the extra magic resist is already very nice. Yep, there we go, getting the full ace on the team, and yeah, a pretty easy victory in the end, but definitely yeah, a nice game. We saw a lot of strategy in that. I mean, the farming in the early game is pretty boring. I tried to talk over that, but for me that's very boring to watch too. And that's why I like the spectator mode, because with the spectator mode I can actually walk around the map and see the bottom lane and the mid lane, where farming is not so much an issue. I mean, with Nasus, all you do early game is farming. You really don't go aggressive on your enemy because you know you're going to get killed. And the only way you get aggressive on your enemy is if the jungler is in, and with the spectator mode on I should still be able to see the jungler coming in. Notice that I didn't say I will see the jungler coming in, because I miss them quite often, and that's because I don't really concentrate on those things. I try to concentrate on what I'm telling you instead of, well, what I'm showing, and that every now and then goes or costs me 1 or 2 kills in a game. But that's why we have the rewind feature, so everyone's happy again. You get to see the kills anyway. And yeah, well, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG!